Some big last-second additions are being made to Survivor Series, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's happening with Becky Lynch, Dominik, and more. Starting things off with the big last-second additions with the Women's War Games match. The Men's War Games match has had mega blockbuster final additions with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, and it looks like the last spots for the women's match are also getting some mega stars in the women's division. So far, the Women's War Games match consists of Alexa, Charlotte, Rhea, and Io Sky versus Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Asuka, and Kairi Sane, leaving just one empty spot on each team. They tried having a little drama there with Charlotte refusing to join the War Games match due to her prior history with Rhea Ripley, but that narrative only lasted 3 days before everything was patched up there and Charlotte rejoined. The big narrative now is who will take these final spots on each side. And although it was not actually confirmed, the November 17th edition of Raw pretty immensely hinted at who those final 2 spots will be going to. After making her first appearance in nearly 2 months to cost Becky Lynch the Women's Intercontinental title, AJ Lee was interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and she asked AJ if she'll be sticking around after that MSG appearance. AJ said she was only considering it due to the fire that Becky Lynch suddenly lit inside of her. But before AJ can even wrap up the interview, Rhea Ripley pulls AJ and asks to speak with her for a second. The camera cuts away, and we didn't get to hear a single second of the conversation between Rhea and AJ, but it's very clear and heavily implied what Rhea was wanting to speak to AJ about, and that of course is in regards to the final spot of the women's babyface team for the War Games match. They just needed one more person, and AJ is perfect for that role. We didn't get to see AJ's thoughts on the offer that Rhea was making to her, but we're to assume that AJ will surely accept that position during these final shows here before Survivor Series. It's been a long time rumor that AJ would take part in this year's War Games match, and that's a rumor that turned out to be true. It'll be AJ's first Survivor Series event since way back in 2014. Not only that, but it will be AJ's first time working with a majority of the women in the War Games match. AJ has never worked with Rhea, Io, Charlotte, Alexa, Nia, Lash, Asuka, or Kairi Sane before, so it's a whole dream situation to see AJ sharing the ring with so many of these massive stars in the women's division that came to WWE just a few years after she left the company. Of course, since we know that Rhea is recruiting AJ to the team, it's only logical that the heel team will recruit Becky Lynch in their final spot. It keeps AJ and Becky's feud with each other continuing, while also serving as 2 massive names to fill those spots in the War Games match. So, stacked teams on each side, and it's going to be great to see another rare AJ Lee match. Speaking of AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, those 2 names are heavily involved in our next story here, and that's the in-universe lawsuit that's apparently about to go down. When Becky tapped out to AJ Lee back in September, she blamed it on the referee and how she was trying to squash a bee that was on her. While Becky is once again loading up a big excuse for the loss of her Intercontinental title. Becky lost the title due to AJ Lee making a surprise return, causing a distraction and opening up the door for Maxxine Dupri to capitalize and snatch the title away from Becky. Losing her title in that fashion has caused Becky Lynch to crash out in a major way. Becky took to social media following the loss to say the title change is illegal. Becky pointed out that in New York State, where the match took place, an individual needs a manager's license to interfere and get near the ringside area. AJ did not have a manager's license. So Becky's viewing the whole exchange as injustice and illegal behavior. Becky noted she's getting in contact with her lawyers and how a lawsuit will be filed the second they change the title's side plates. Becky expanded on the conspiracy, noting that AJ's music and graphic screens just don't come on with magic, that Adam Pearce had to probably hit AJ's music and give her the green light to go out there to ringside. Becky said that Maxxine had to be in the whole situation as well, because without it, she never would have won. Becky Lynch then posted a video on her social media platforms showing that she just finished having lunch with her lawyers, and how he told her it's the most cut and dry case he's ever seen, and how he's taking the case and how they're easily going to win it. So again, it's obviously not a real-life lawsuit, but it's a storyline narrative that Becky created on her own across her social media platforms, and it caught fire and went viral with the fans. They're interested in her lawsuit-related posts and all these other video updates she's creating from her meetings with her lawyers. So fans are really heavily invested in this narrative that she came up with here. It's something that Chelsea Green was even talking about recently, and how that Superstars can use social media to create their own buzz and self-created storylines, and how that helps to really build up the hype. And that appears to be what Becky did here. She created this lawsuit narrative, and now everyone's paying close attention to it. It's unclear if Becky's entire lawsuit narrative will actually pour into WWE television or not. Maybe Becky will make some references to the legal process she's getting ready to take Maxxine and AJ through, but it would be pretty cool to see the lawsuit narrative expand onto Raw in the coming weeks. Becky says she's coming after Maxxine and AJ in this lawsuit. Our lawyer says it's an easy win, and he's taking the case. So it would be pretty interesting to get some more story out of these seeds that Becky's planted here with her social media posts. So be on the lookout for more potential advancements there with Becky's lawsuit, because there's a shot she does serve AJ, Maxxine, or even Adam Pearce with court papers. Dominik Mysterio recently spoke with Tower of Power, and he broke character when speaking about his time early in Judgment Day and everything that the group did for him. He had this to say about the entire group and the exact moment he found his confidence, quote, "I think I found it when I started getting comfortable with the Judgment Day with Damian, Finn, and Rhea at the beginning, and then JD coming in. I think just all those guys helping me get comfortable, you know? Like we were getting along backstage, so we were getting along in ring, and we were getting along off camera. So on camera, our chemistry, it clicked. It was working. And I think that's really what helped me out. It made me realize that I could hang with the big dogs once I started getting comfortable," end quote. Dominik Mysterio also spoke about the trust that the company has in him because he was the first match back for some major names, like Randy Orton and CM Punk. Randy was coming back from a career-threatening injury, and CM Punk was coming back from being gone for a decade. And the first opponent WWE gave Randy and Punk was Dominik Mysterio. Dominik feels trusted by the company. Another thing that Dominik did not touch on, but still relates to the company's trust in him, is his feud with even John Cena. Out of John Cena's final 4 matches of his entire career, 2 of those final 4 matches went to Dominik Mysterio. So that does say a lot right there. Most of John Cena's biggest opponents from his retirement tour only got 1 final match with him, but Dominik Mysterio got multiple matches with John Cena, a full feud, and especially right at the end of the tour as well. So this is a massive deal, and it shows a lot about how John Cena feels about Dominik Mysterio as well, to agree to give him 2 of the final 4 matches to Dom. John Cena snatched the Intercontinental title from Dominik in his hometown of Boston, but with a rematch at Survivor Series in San Diego, Dominik Mysterio now has the home field advantage. So a lot expect to see Dominik Mysterio defeat John Cena to get the title back. And if he does that, that's a massive personal win for Dominik Mysterio, and he'll go down as the second to last person to ever defeat John Cena. So that is a massive deal right there. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.